Hey everybody, welcome back to Rusty Wrench Restorations. So as you can see, I was finally able to get the Case 1816B skid steer unloaded from my trailer, and it's a project that's probably going to happen later on this summer. So it's basically going to get kind of tucked to the side, and we'll get to it when we're done with the John Deere 70 skid steer. In fact, it's probably going to get moved to after the project I have planned for the 300, which we'll reveal in a later video. But anyway, a little bit about this Case skid steer. I've restored one of these in the past. They're super small, super agile. This one here, the ROPS cage, was actually cut and lowered down a little bit. A lot of people use these for cleaning out horse stalls, chicken coops, whatever, and instead of taking the roll cage off for clearance, in order to retain some of that safety, sometimes they'll cut them down a little bit. So just kind of interesting. The height on this thing is, it's about 70, let's say 70 and a half, maybe 71 inches. So less than 6 foot tall. The length of it, of course the bucket's not on there right now, but with the bucket you're probably looking at about 7.5 foot. And right now the wheels are on the wide setting, which is why we're doing this video. And when I say the wide setting, it's still not very wide, but let's see what we got here. We're looking at, make sure we get a good reading here, overall width of 42 inches. So I think, from what I remember in the book, if I flip these rims around so that the tires are basically, they'll be tucked inside this frame here, I want to say it was like 35 or 36 inches width. So being less than 6 foot tall, 35 inches wide, if you wanted to, you could literally drive this skid steer through your front door. So pretty cool, small little machine, pretty capable. It doesn't weigh much. I want to say it's about 1,200 pounds, and it lifts 700. So for its size, being as compacted as it is, it can actually lift quite a bit of weight. So like I said, I restored one of these a few years ago. If I think of it, I'll try to insert a couple pictures of it here so you can see it. I did repower it with a 2-cylinder Honda engine. I want to say it was like a GX 160 or something like that. So I got it through Northern Tool. But yeah, I'd gone through, repainted the whole thing, all new hydraulic hoses, new repower with the engine, tires, the whole nine, and it was a pretty cool, capable little machine. So I don't know as though I'm going to do that with this one. I think I'm just going to try to get it running, maybe replace a hose or two, the ones that are really bad, and just kind of use it, or I might end up flipping it or trading it or something. So the gentleman I got this from a few years ago was using it, and the engine blew out on it. So he took out the old engine and got this new engine, which is a Kohler Command 22 horsepower engine, and never hooked it up, so it's just kind of sitting in there. The problem I ran into is there's a crank pulley on this engine that drives 3 belts. There's one for the left-hand drive pump, the right-hand drive pump, and then the auxiliary pump for bucket and loader operations. That pulley is missing. I think he left it on the old engine when he got rid of it, and unfortunately they're kind of hard to find, and they're about $400. So I did a little eBay shopping, and I got my own 3-belt pulley that we're going to try to adapt to this to get it to work. Another thing that I am going to end up doing with this is I'm not going to use this Kohler Command engine. I've got a buddy of mine, Jason Dufour. He owns Dufour Tractor Parts. I did a whole video on his area, his store. He sells new parts, old parts, all tractors, so check that out. But yeah, he's got a Kubota 2-cylinder diesel engine for me that I think we're gonna try to shoehorn in here. I think that'd be pretty sweet. So another cool little project. Anyway, the whole point of this video is I want to get these tires flipped around. Right now they stick out, I've guesstimated, I don't know what I did with my tape measure here, I'd say about 4 or 5 inches. Yeah, we're looking at about 4 inches they stick out from this wheel well. So by turning them in, it gives me an additional 8 inches of room, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but in this tight area, it makes a world of difference. So I'll really be able to tuck this thing up against the fence and make it easier to get everything else in and out of here. So this will probably be the last video on this skid steer for a little while until it comes time to strip it down and get it running again. But yeah, cool little machine. So I do have 2 buckets for this skid steer. The larger of the two is 43 inches, and this small one, which is the one I'm going to be using, is 34 inches in width. So probably end up getting rid of this. Someone put a new cutting edge on here, but they put it on upside down, so nothing surprises me anymore. But you know, people will do some crazy things. So yeah, we're going to use the small bucket to really just make this thing a narrow skiddy. So the John Deere, I got the final coat of paint on it, got it back in its level orientation. But anyway, so I got a gate back here that goes into my backyard, and a skid steer like this would be perfect for going into a backyard gate. You know, just small areas you can't fit bigger equipment. If you want to carry back maybe some stone pavers or some mulch, save your back and ride on that. So anyway, let's get these wheels flipped around. Yeah, really nothing too crazy or special about getting these off, although this one here does have a double nut on it, so I'm not sure how that is going to want to play. Anyway, let's try these here. It's like playing NASCAR pit crew. I think this one's a different size. Yeah, that outside one is the next size bigger. I'm not sure why they did that, but I'm sure we're about to find out, and it probably won't be a good thing. Yeah, probably because this whole stud is spinning. Very interesting. Well, that's going to be fun to get off. I don't think I can get to it to hold it from the back, although I'm going to have to figure something out. Oh, it's a square-headed bolt. Even more fun. I was going to say, it's kind of odd that there was 2 nuts on there. Figured there had to be a reason. Like I said, it's usually not a good reason. Yeah, it looks like someone probably just stripped out one of these wheel studs and put one of these in there instead, so not really a big deal. Good thing about these tires, you can actually still get these tires still brand new, the ones that came on it. They're in really good shape tread-wise, but got a lot of dry rot on there, so whether we'll replace those is yet to be seen. But let's throw this back on here. You can see the difference already, how much narrower it makes. Now just remember, because we're narrowing the tractor, it's going to make it a little more tippy. So you got to be careful. It'll make a man out of you. There's a nice little comparison view. Pretty cool. I like the way it looks the other way better, that's for sure. And it's kind of silly, but I do care about the aesthetics of things. And it looks kind of goofy with these wheels turned around this way. So we'll see. When we work on this thing, may end up putting them back to how they were. Because really 8 inches normally doesn't make a difference. Glad the warm weather's back. Hopefully it will stay for a while. Going down. All right, and as if the mini skiddy wasn't already mini enough, let's see what we got here. 34.5, same as the bucket. Alright, well I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Nothing really too exciting or technical, just flipping some wheels around to give me about 8 inches more room over here. So that's about it that you're going to see on this case skid steer until we actually get into the project of getting it fixed up and running again. There will be one more video when I go down to Jason Dufour's at Dufour Tractor Parts in Nashville, North Carolina. We're going to go down there to get the Kubota 2-cylinder diesel engine for this, so I'm sure I'll do a video that day of the the trip down, us wrenching, pulling everything apart, and having some laughs with Jason. Real good guy to work with, awesome guy, great deals. So if you need any tractor parts, Dufour, see what they can do for you. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it. See you in the next one.